As many of you guys know, back when I first started out in my handyman business, it didn't take long, but I got a reputation. I got a reputation for being someone that you don't want to call. I actually saw a Facebook comment, or actually a few Facebook comments, that said, don't bother calling Honestly Handyman because he doesn't call you back. And I was like blown away at this, because it's like, who wants a reputation where people are telling other people to not call you because you don't call them back? But in all reality, that was pretty true. I didn't call people back. My main problem was time management. I sucked at time management. And in fact, I still struggle with time management. There are a lot of things that I currently do to try and make up for it. There's things that I do to try and get better at it every day, but it's something that's really kind of a never-ending process of trying to get better at. But here's what I would do if I was to go back and start all over. So let's kind of roll the tide back here to about 2018, and I was just super busy. I mean, it was great. I was booming. I was booked out for about a month, even 2 months at one point. So much so that I was actually doing the actual work on people's houses, and when my phone would ring, I would just let it go to voicemail, because I didn't want to stop doing the work, actually making the money to actually, answer the phone calls. One of the problems was I thought that I needed to keep working, so I kept that income coming in, because if I took any second off or any delay in the project, I wouldn't get paid and I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. So one problem was definitely pricing. Pricing is something huge that we talk a lot about. In fact, yesterday, October 31st, I made a really in-depth video. That was day 41. Made a really in-depth video on pricing. It was about an hour long. Not a whole lot of people saw that video, so I don't know if it didn't get shown, but check that video out because it's absolutely fantastic. And when you do check it out, like it and comment, because I think that the ratings of that video really need to go up, because I spent a lot of time on that video, really laid out everything that there has to do with pricing. You should definitely be able to figure out your pricing after you're watching that video. So definitely check that out. So that was definitely one issue with my business at the time, was pricing, but that was yesterday's video. Today we're talking about time management, how to better manage your time as a handyman. Because after all, you are the handyman doing the actual work on the house, but yet you still need to call people back. You're the handyman, like you're wearing all kinds of hats, right? You're wearing the technician hat, you're wearing the secretary hat, you're wearing the follow-up hat, you're wearing the technician assistant hat, you're wearing the estimator hat, you're wearing the CEO, you're wearing the CFO. All kinds of hats you are wearing, and it gets absolutely tiresome, because it's like, how do you manage your time doing that? Because at the end of the day, only one of those hats actually brings in the income, and that's the hat of the technician. So how do you manage all of that? And I think the example for this is really in kind of how our business is structured and how our business is laid out. We currently have 2 technicians. We have a total of 6 employees, but we have 2 technicians. So those 2 technicians bring in all of the income to pay for the rest of the employees. Now, some people may think that's kind of crazy. How do you only have 2 people paying for 6 people? It's all in math. It's all in figuring out how you figure out your pricing. But at the end of the day, you have to structure your business that way so that things get handled, that clients get taken care of. Because at the end of the day, you still have calls coming in. You have estimates that need to be written up. You have materials that need to go get picked up and dropped off at the client's houses. You have things that need to be taken to the dump. This is all aside from the actual work that you're doing at the house. So there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that needs to get done rather than just working on the person's house. But how do you do it as a sole proprietor? You're the only guy working. So back in 2018, I was the only guy working in my business. Hey friends, I wanted to interrupt this video real quick and let you know that I've created an Amazon store with a whole bunch of links to tools that I highly recommend and tools that we use every single day in our handyman business. And also, handyman business books. Books have been drastic to the growth of my business, and I would highly recommend that you check that out. So I will put a link in the description below where you can gain access to that Amazon store and see everything that I recommend. Also, I wanted to let you know that you can schedule a free consultation call with me over at handymanjourney.com/coaching. I look forward to talking with you soon. Let's get back to today's video. And I got the reputation pretty quick of don't call Honestly because he doesn't call people back. Now, what would I do if I could go back to that time and change a few things? Well, one thing, I would be a whole lot less selfish. Now, This sounds kind of crazy, and you probably wanted some greater philosophical answer to this question than me or than what I just gave you, but at the end of the day, it's really prioritizing what's most important. If you have a business, clients are very, very, very important, because without clients, you're not going to have a business very long. So you need to prioritize that over yourself. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I greatly struggled and still struggle with selfishness. Doing what I want to do when I want to do it. And that's, at the end of the day, why I started up my business in the first place, is because I didn't want to be told where to go, when to do things, how much I'm getting paid, this or that. I wanted to create my own life, create my own future. And part of that is being selfish, because it's like, I want this and I don't want that, and I want this right now. It's okay to, want things, but at the end of the day, you need to have priorities set. And that's really where time management comes into play. Because at the end of the day, you need to look at your life, and you need to look at what needs to be done in a day. And you need to make time to get that stuff done. That's what a man does. At the end of the day, what's most important is you definitely need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your family. As a business owner, you definitely need to make sure that you're taking care of your clients. Yes, you need to make sure that income is coming in by doing the actual technical work, but you need to make sure you're taking care of your clients. So, for instance, what I'm doing right now is a great example. Today is actually Halloween, October 31st. I'm releasing this video November 1st. That means I will be doing this 100-day challenge, will be my 2-month anniversary. I started September 1st of 2023, and now it's November 1st, which is fantastic. But it is, let's see, it is 9 o'clock right now on Halloween. I've been running all day pretty much. I actually have 21,000 steps. Worked out super early, woke up at 4:30 a.m. this morning to work out, get a good workout in. One of my friends actually just passed a huge milestone. I'm part of a workout group, and he just hit his 100th workout. So we celebrated him this morning at 5:15. That's when our workout was. And then, ran through the day, had a whole bunch of stuff, helped out at my daughter's school. We had a harvest festival there, and then obviously went over to another friend's, went trick-or-treating, watched a movie. Absolutely fantastic. It was a great day. But I still have my commitment to you guys, my commitment to making a video every single day for the next 100 working days. So at the end of the day, it's 9 o'clock. I have a podcast that I'm editing right now. Side note, we released a podcast today. So on November 1st, when you watch this video, there will be a podcast that launches this morning. So before you see this video, we will launch a podcast on the same YouTube channel. It is episode number 27. So we've done 27 of these podcasts. We launch them every single month on the first of the month. We're actually interviewing a guy named Kevin Moles. Fantastic interview. So if you guys want to learn some stuff about starting and growing a handyman business, definitely check out that. It's called the Handyman Success Podcast. You can see it on this channel. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet for more of that information. But I've had a heck of a day. Sure, I want to go to bed. I just, scrounged down some dinner, but I have a commitment to you guys. So at the end of the day, you are a sole proprietor in your business. You have a lot of things going on. You have to bring the money in. You have to take care of your family. These are all things that you have to do, but you also have to call your clients back. So you either need to figure out a way to do that, even if that's, obviously you're not going to call people back at 9 o'clock at night. So you want to figure out a time that works for them, a time that works for you. So what I would recommend, if I could go back and do this right now, is I would take an hour out of my day every single day. Say at, let's just call 2 p.m. You could do whenever. You could do 1 p.m. right after lunch. So 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. is going to be return calls for that day and possibly the prior day. Whatever works out. Calls, text, whatever, and then do that same thing every single day. Probably have, say, 1 to 2 p.m., call clients back. And then open up the schedule again, say from 4:30 to 5:30 to take return calls or return the return calls, because obviously, you return calls, it goes to voicemail, they call you back later when it's convenient for them, it goes to your voicemail, and then you're playing phone tag. So that's hard as well. I completely understand that. So there are some clients that are going to get dropped doing that method. So it's either figure out time in your schedule when you can set aside time to actually take care of those clients, or start hiring people. I highly recommend, especially if you want to grow this business, hire, hire, hire. You have to delegate this work in order to get it all done. You cannot go through this whole business, especially if you want to grow, just wearing all those hats yourself. You're going to drive yourself mad. Right now, we have me being the CEO, we have 2 technicians, we have a technician assistant, we have an estimator, and we have a CSR who is our secretary. She intakes all of the phone calls and everything like that. We have our business structured in a way that I can take time off work and the business still run without me. I haven't been working for the last 3 weeks because I've been home taking care of my family. If you guys don't know my situation, my wife is pregnant with our 3rd kid, which is super exciting. I'm super stoked about that. She has had horrible morning sickness, which has basically caused me to take some time off work and take care of my wife and my kids, which is absolutely fantastic because that is the #1 priority. And the cool thing that I've learned through this whole thing is that my business is actually doing better without me. I have set up systems and processes in my business to allow my business to thrive and have the ability to make decisions, have the correct leadership, where it doesn't necessarily rely on me being there every single day, which is absolutely great. Looking back, if I could think that I'm going to be where I'm at today back in 2017, I would have thought I was nuts. It's really crazy how far this business has gone, and just the things that it has equipped me to kind of be able to do outside of business. It's really cool. But that never would have happened if I hadn't taken those steps. And at the end of the day, when people leave you bad comments, it's kind of a different subject. But when people leave you a bad comment, just like that person said, and I saw it, don't bother calling honestly because he doesn't answer his phone. I could have gotten all defensive, and sure, I probably did get a little defensive at the moment, but you also have to look inside yourself and be like, wow, is this comment true? Like, yeah, that comment was true, because I'm like, I don't call people back. And so you have to take these bad comments and you have to think about, how can I make this better? How can I make my service better to the community? Maybe the way I'm going about it right now is obviously not working because people are mad. People are not being taken care of. People are not feeling that hope that I want to bring them. So maybe I need to change some things in my business to make it happen. And at the end of the day, that really relied in hiring our CSR. That was probably the best hire that we've ever had, just because it was the first initial hire that really took such a huge workload off my mind and just my own persona, that I could actually focus on doing the work and creating the processes to grow this business further, because I knew that someone was answering the phones even when I wasn't there. So I want to challenge you guys today to leave me a comment in the comment section below with just thinking about how your business is right now and what are some things that you need to implement in your business to possibly take it to the next level.